What's up, guys? Rampedi here. Another week, a new episode. Mamelodi Sundowns score 15. Same old Orlando Pirates. AFCON under 20, we're not going. Gotta talk about it. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Mamelodi Sundowns are through to the next round of the CAF Champions League. They scored 15 goals. Yep. Against Lepase. I mean, remember we spoke about them. These are part-time footballers. They've got real jobs where they're back at home in the Seychelles. And I think it was expected. You know, it was really expected for Sundowns to win in a very big margin. Maybe we did not expect to see 15 goals scored in 2 legs. But I just think Mamelodi Sundowns showed their class. They showed the fact that they were professional throughout the tie as well. And I think there were positives, you know. There were real positives that I think that came out of this game for Mamelodi Sundowns when I go through out the 2 legs that they played. I think number one is the fact that they arrested key players. We didn't see Shaulile at all. You know, Peter Shaulile was not there. You can just imagine if he was, how many goals he would have scored out of the 15 goals. You know, Williams as well, he was rested. Anle Jali too, another key player that was rested as well. And I think also number 2 being the player rotation. Massive. We saw names. We saw names that we usually see on the bench. This is what you would call your fringe players as well. You know, Bongani Zungu, he got minutes. You know, in the second leg, he played about 90 minutes of that game. Mutupa scored a brilliant goal. Mkuli says, well, look, he's always spoken about having to up his game, and he does have to because he's got a lot of competition. So him getting on the goals was a plus. Abdul Manaim, a debut, you know? So there was a debut there. Dennis Onyango, we saw him, a face that we've forgotten, and then also Peterson as well. There was a number of names. Luusa could go on, Mailula as well, scoring the hat-trick. So I think it was like very good positives for Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think also just scoring 15. You know, in South Africa, you're not used to seeing so many goals being scored, especially in 2 games. And the fact that Sundowns got that, it only boosts their confidence. And we all know where the roads are leading to. The roads are leading to Maruma Gallants tonight. I think they're going to go in there with a lot of confidence. But I think from that game, the real roads are leading to what's happening with Orlando Pirates and the MTN8. So I see a lot of positives that happen for Mamelodi Sundowns, and even tonight you'll probably see some key hitters that are going to come back. The Shauliles are going to come back and probably get in on the goals. I do think they will be able to get over Maruma Gallants, but then I tell you, this team is scarred from what Orlando Pirates did in the first leg. They're scarred, man. I've seen it with the coaches too, and I tell you, man, I think they're going to get a very decent result. I think they will push Orlando Pirates all the way. It was up to Orlando Pirates if they step up. But in terms of the 2 legs against Lepase, job well done. Let's take a look at what also happened within the CAF competitions. There's the results there on screen. So Cape Town City's out. They went to Angola. They lost 1-0. 4-0 on aggregate as well. It's going to be interesting because they've got Richards Bay next, a team that does not concede. So you're sort of wondering, where is the confidence of Cape Town City? Will they be able to score goals? And as well as also CAF Confederations Cup. This is the Europa League for those who don't know. Royal M is participating, and as well as Maruma Gallants. And by the way, it's not only just Mamelodi Sundowns that got a good result. These 2 clubs too, they're representing really well. Royal M knocked out Zesco United, the giants of Zambian football. They did that with an away goal. And then Maruma Gallants as well, beating El Gecko Plus. So, I mean, it's another team that I expected Maruma Gallants to beat, especially considering the fact that I think the football of South Africa versus Madagascar was just a level above, that's for sure. The fixtures that they're going to be playing, Maruma Gallants takes on Mamelodi Sundowns. I touched on the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns are going to be hungry, but what Maruma Gallants have in their armor is the fact that they got Dan Malasela back. And you remember, this is the coach that took Mamelodi Sundowns all the way in the Nedbank Cup final. So him coming back is just going to make them stronger. It will be an interesting tie. And then Royal AM taking on Swallows. You know, you look at the log, and ever since Dan Malasela left Royal AM, you can just see them going down the log. And that is not something that they want to do. Swallows, I mean, we know how desperate they are in that situation, and they need a coach. You know, they just need a coach ASAP. I see both teams scoring, that's for sure, but I have to give a big shout out to the South African teams that are remaining in the CAF competitions. DStv Premiership action. Orlando Pirates took on Amazulu. What a game that was. Ended 1-1. the tempo was so quick, you know. It was really good to see. I think Amazulu could have been 2-0 up within 20 minutes of the game. I thought they started really well. Majoro as well. He came off with an injury. I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. And Orlando Pirates, they showed some character, you would say, coming from behind because the goal was scored with a penalty for Amazulu. And then when Orlando Pirates scored, Erasmus, some say it's not an Erasmus goal, some say it is an Erasmus goal, but he'll definitely will take that. It will boost his confidence, that's for sure. And then this is the part about the game that I think Amazulu they couldn't cope with the tempo of Orlando Pirates. They couldn't contest with them, wrestle with them. I think Orlando Pirates was too big. I thought Orlando Pirates was too strong and too quick. But what Amazulu did was they had a very good goalkeeper. And they had a very good defense, you would say. They held shape, and Veli Motwa picking up the man of the match. And that's for Orlando Pirates. They had those shades again. It was that Orlando Pirates that we've been speaking about before. The one that creates many chances, but for some reason, they're not taking them. You know, Orlando Pirates, they've dropped more points, more crucial points as well, based on some of the games that they've played. And can you imagine, Mamelodi Sundowns had not even played a league game, but for some reason, Orlando Pirates had 2 games in hand, and they were still not able to take advantage, you know, over the 2 games that they played. Now they've given the advantage to Mamelodi Sundowns. They play against Golden Arrows tonight. And I have to tell Orlando Pirates, the players as well, especially, I'm tired of sounding like a broken record. I'm tired of saying the same old things every single week because I'm looking out for my viewers too, man. You know, I want to tell them something different. I'm tired of coming onto a show and saying, oh, they created chances. They just didn't put them away. They created chances. They just didn't put them away. It's the same old thing. I feel like I've been saying it for the last 2 years even. That's what I would be saying. And I don't blame Jose for that. I don't blame Jose for the fact that players can't put chances away. That's something that they need to work on because the chances were there. Yes, Vulemutu is a good goalkeeper, but surely you can put more goals away. But it's not only just that game. That's my thing. It's not only just that game. And we've seen Orlando Pirates lose a CAF title recently. You know, we've seen them lose ground on Mamelodi Sundowns in the past before. We've seen them lose out on CAF spots as well within the league. So I have to ask the question, do the players want it? You know, do they want it badly? Do they want to win with this team? You look back at the great players of the past, Bo Lekhwati, Bo Senzo Maiwa, Bo Munib Josephs. You know, you look at the quality of those players and what they did for the badge. And you just sort of ask yourself, do these current players want the same success as those players had? Or are these players just content with just wearing a Pirates jersey? And the fact that I can walk at a mall or I can drive my car and just be like, hey, people can just point at me and say I'm playing for Orlando Pirates. So that's why I want to challenge them. You know, you kick off against Golden Arrows. Let's see. Because I just think we've seen the same old Pirates that it's the same old. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. This team hasn't won enough in the last 10 years. They haven't. And I think there's some honest conversations that need to happen amongst themselves. And maybe myself, am I overrating the players? Because I think they're good enough. But am I overrating them? You know, should I just come back down to earth maybe? If it's a Golden Arrow side, you don't know what to expect. I expect to see goals. I would hope to see goals, but it'll be a very interesting game. But as for Orlando Pirates, the players, because I think I've seen enough coaches come going by, but the players, pull up your damn socks. KZN Derby, Richards Bay going up against Maritzburg United. That played over the weekend. Game ended goalless. Yeah, I probably would say Richards Bay played with a lot of confidence. It was good to see them play in the way that they did. They were up front. You know, they just didn't take their chances with Mamela and as well as Mbutuma as well. They just didn't take them. They still find themselves in a healthy position. And they face Cape Town City tomorrow. It will be very interesting as well. I spoke about that fixture. What Cape Town City is up against is this side, when it's played up against sort of decent opposition, they just do not concede. Look at those results. They didn't concede against Orlando Pirates. They didn't concede against Amazulu. They didn't concede against Royal AM. I mean, that's one thing Richards Bay has done really well. And I just love the fact that they've come into this league and they've respected it. You know, they've respected it. They've not gone gun-ho. And I got to give credit to Jomo and as well as Pito as well in the way that they've come in. And also Vasily as well. I think his experience as well. I've spoken about it before. And then we go to the other team that's in KZN, Maritzburg United. I got to tell you, they played with the handbrake on. You know, it really looked like John Maduka set them up to be defensive. And funny enough, I'd never seen a John Maduka side play in the way that they did. It looked like as if his job was on the line. And we've heard Farouk come on to radio and said that it's something that they're assessing with regards to the results, and it has not been coming as well. And you know what's the pressure point about this? Guess what's next? They face AmaZulu, another KZN derby. So it'll be interesting. And you look at the record so far in the KZN derbies, there's the results. 0-0 against Richards Bay, that was recent, and then they lost to Royal AM. So I'm thinking to myself, based on the way that they played, I expect them to play the same way because I just think he's under pressure. And if he doesn't get a good result, I think it might be the last we see of Maduka Ball. And as for AmaZulu, the way that they started, they're definitely going to be coming out. And they've got some good players as well. So it's a KZN derby that I'm looking forward to seeing. Good luck to both KZN teams. The surprise result of the weekend, Chippa United 2, Kaizer Chiefs 1. Gotta tell you, man, I tweeted, man. And I said that was a Morgan Mamila masterclass. It really was. You gotta give credit to Chippa United. I thought they showed courage. They showed bravery against the Kaizer Chiefs side. We're talking about a side a month ago was defending for their lives against Mamelodi Sundowns. But ever since Morgan Mamila's come in, whether he's a technical advisor, whether he's a CEO, whether he's the head coach by the looks of it, this team is playing differently. This team is scoring goals. You know, this team is on the front foot. You saw it even against AmaZulu as well. And what's very interesting within this game, when you saw the first half, they were both going toe-to-toe, right? They were like going like this, dancing with one another. Now, the problem is that Kaizer Chiefs did a really good dance move. They scored the first goal. And in the second half, for some reason, they started to dance a little bit slower. But the pace at what Chippa United was dancing at, it was still at the same pace as the first half. And I think there was some complacency from Kaizer Chiefs. And that just allowed Chippa United back into the game. And when they scored to equalize, and then they scored the second one, I mean, I was really proud of that Chippa United team because I thought, you know what? Overall in the game of play, overall on the midfield battles, I think Chippa United deserved it, no doubt. Now, as for Kaizer Chiefs, I'm not going to go too hard on Adeswane and the boys because I think they've been getting some recent good results. But that's something that he does need to address ASAP. And that is the fact that, look there, 3 clean sheets in 11 games. So, in essence, majority of the time when Kaizer Chiefs take to the pitch, they're going to concede. They're going to always give the other team a chance. And that is something that Adeswane needs to fix. And I think he's given everybody a chance. We've seen Peterson play. We've seen Vuma play. We've seen Kunika play. We've seen Ngobo play. You know, and I think for me, the only solid member within that back line, I would probably say Santi's left back. That's his. I think it's his position. He's made it his. I think as well as Dove as well. And Milson Dove. He's made that left side centre-back position. It's done. Now, what's key is who do you pair them up with? Who's the right centre-back? And who is the right back as well? And that keeps changing all the time. I think that's when you've given everybody a chance. And I think maybe now, in the next coming games, pick 5 to 10 games perhaps, where you're going to play this back line consistently. And as well as what I saw with regards to Brandon Peterson, I don't know about his confidence. I'm not sure because Itumlen Kune got the injury. But when he came in, he just looked a little bit over the place. There was a mistake that could have been made with him and Dove as well. But I just think he doesn't command his back line really good enough. So maybe does Vuma come back? But Kune has to definitely come back because I think he is the mainstay. But you've got the 3, which is done. Kune in goal. We've got Dove at left-sided centre-back. And as well as we've got Shanti. Now it's time to sort that side out. Is it Frosler that starts? Is it Solomon that starts? But they need to be consistent so that all of them can gel together. They can understand one another. They can at least defend with one another over a consistent run. But other than that, I think they've been on a good run, and I don't want to be too harsh on Kaizer Chiefs. And as for Chippa United, take a bow. There's this tournament called the African Cup of Nations Under-20. It's going to be taking place next year. And it is with great sadness that I let you know that we will not be going to the African Cup of Nations Under-20. This is bad. This is real bad. I tell you, we got knocked out by Mozambique. And the way it was so comfortable for Mozambique, it took a red card for them for us to finally score. But they were leading 2-0 so quickly. So the teams from the southern region is going to be Mozambique and Zambia that is going. This is alarming, man. Like I said before. And what for me is a bit of a concern is the fact that these players will not continue to develop. And maybe the question is now, the next generation that's coming next, are we developing the highest quality? Are we developing some really good players? I don't know, because we can't even qualify. You know, we almost struggle to beat Comores as well. We struggle to score goals. And you just look at, if this is the next generation we expect to see in the PSL, this is what we're going to see. And the changing of coaches doesn't help, because there's no permanent coach at our youth structures within the national team. And you know what is irritating for me, or what is frustrating for me? I look at other teams, man. You know, other teams in Africa, they're still exporting players. You know, you look at Zambia. Just look at what's happening with Zambia, with some of the players that they have exported. You know, even Enoch Mwepu, a quality player, and unfortunately he won't get a chance to play again due to the heart condition that he does have. I wish him all the best with his career. But Zambia still continues to produce players. You telling me Zambia's got better structures than us? You telling me they got better facilities than us? What is it that they're getting right that we're not getting right? And that's the frustration. We're not exporting players. And look at this point. We're not even qualifying for tournaments as well. We didn't qualify for the last AFCON. We didn't qualify for Chan. And we didn't qualify for the AFCON under 20. We're in a very bad place, guys. We're in a very bad place. And you know what's sad as well is the cracks are now starting to show on the pitch. They're starting to show on the pitch now. We can't hide it anymore. This is the level we're at. This is our standard. We're not good anymore. And I got to tell you, it's a time for us to reflect. It's a time for us to sit back, because I'm not only just going to blame SAFA and just say it's only their fault, it's down to them. I think even us. I think we need to point at what the problems are and point at fixing them. But all of us have to do that, because when you see reports of people were not happy that this player was picked and it's from this team, it just goes to show that we're still not singing from one hymn sheet. We're not singing one song, man. This one wants to sing that song, that one wants to sing that song. And unfortunately, until that happens, this is what we're going to get. And again, I will say it again. You know, Hugo Broos will come. He'll say some truths. Hugo Broos is going to go. And Hugo Broos is going to leave us with this football that we have to fix. It's down to us. But this, we're in a very bad place. It's time for our weekly bet of the week. The purpose of this segment is to show you my bet slip in hopes that it helps yours light and green. The more accurate, the more cash you get. Let's get into it. Bournemouth taking on Southampton. I've gone with a double chance on over 1.5. So I've gone with a draw or Southampton win and over 1.5. Brentford taking on an informed Chelsea. I've gone with an over 1.5 goals. Liverpool taking on West Ham. I see goals, considering the fact that Liverpool have found their form again now after Manchester City. I think it will give them a lift. I've gone with an over 2.5 goals. And then last but not least, Manchester United going up against Spurs. I wasn't sure. So I stuck to the goals. I've gone with an over 1.5 for that as well. Odds 4.71 with a win boost of 56 rands. So you take that amount that I have, $300, and times it by 4.71, and you'll see the amount of money I'm getting back. But those are my selections. That is Bet of the Week, sponsored by Betway. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. Until the next one, all the best. We've come to the end of the show. Now, I always leave you with something. Look at those fixtures for this week, guys. There you have it on your screen. Let me not keep you. Go watch some football. But before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.